welcome back to Metal Ben's Chronicles, where metal lives. I know today's July 31st, the final day of July, and you're going to be asking me, Metal Ben, why make this video now? And yes, I know this video is long overdue. And to be honest, it's just one of them videos for me that was very hard to make, for some reason. Like 2021 for me was a very weird year. Yes, there was a lot of great metal that came out. However, as controversial as this may sound, I don't think 2021 was as strong as 2020. Why it's taken so long to get this video out. There was a ton of great stuff that came out last year, but you know what? I pretty much narrowed it down to 20. So yeah, I'm going to tell you my top 20 favorite metal albums from 2021, last year. Let's get started. Coming in at number 20. And this one barely made the list. Great album. I just broke it out and listened to it a couple nights ago, actually on my way to work, to refresh on it to see if it would actually make my list. And I'm talking about Aggressive Continuum from Fear Factory, final album of Burton C. Bell. You know, there was a lot of bullshit that basically went into this record, as we all know. Final album of Burton C. Bell. I mean, this band has had a history with, lineup changes, band members not getting along. Well, and I kind of question it too. How can Fear Factory continue after this album? But all in all, it's an enjoyable listen. Yeah, it's nothing new or groundbreaking. It sounds like classic Fear Factory. If you like remanufacture, or if you like obsolete, which strangely enough just turned 20 years old the other day. Hard to believe. I'm sorry, not 20 years old. It did have an anniversary the other day. I think it turned 23, actually. It came out in 1998 originally, but that's not what this video is about. But yeah, it made number 20. Still enjoyable, still really heavy. Sounds like Fear Factory, man. Nothing new or groundbreaking, but you know what? When I was listening to this the other night, I was enjoying it, and it's a great release from last year. Now, moving on, coming in at 19, and he actually just released a new album that I still need to hear. I'm talking about Michael Schenker with Immortal. You know, you get a bunch of guest appearances on here from Ralph Sheepers, I believe Grand Bonnet's on here. Oh, the vocalist from MSG. Can't think of his damn name right now, but it's got a bunch of guest appearances again. I think it's a really good album. This came out in January of 2022. Or 2021, excuse me, get my years mixed up there. Also on Nuclear Blast Records, and I should mention too that Michael Schenker re-recorded In Search of a Peace of Mind, which was on Lonesome Crow by the Scorpions from 1972. So Michael Schenker did a re-recording of that track, and it sounds phenomenal. Man, I just feel bad. I can't remember all the vocalists that are on this freaking album off the top of my head. I just know I know Ralph Sheepers is on here. Anyways, I probably should have wrote it down. But anyways, coming in at number 19, Michael Schenker with Immortal. Good album. Gotta hear his new one yet. Now moving on. Coming in at number 18, we got an EP here following this band's 2020 comeback album, Forever Black. I'm talking about Sarith Ungol. Classic, cult, doom metal band from way back in the day. Put out this great little EP here. Yes, it's an EP. It's not a full-length album, but you know what? It's enjoyable. It's got the classic Sarith Ungol sound, very, old school, new wave of British heavy metal, doom metal sounding, I mean, Really good stuff here. I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, a lot of great songs on here like Route 666, you know. Oh, what else do we got on here? Brutus Mankind, and you got Half Past Human, Sheld's Lair. I mean, great little EP here, man. It comes in at number 18. I enjoyed it. Coming in at number 17. And this one came out on Metal Blade Records, by the way, just like this next release that came out on Metal Blade Records last year. Vulture. I believe this is their third studio album, Dilling Death. Very 80s speed metal sounding here. Really good stuff. If you like classic speed metal, you'll definitely enjoy this. I mean, my goodness, they even went as far as like to put the old Metal Blade logo on there, you know, which is really cool. Yeah, this definitely has that 80s speed metal type of sound. So yeah, if you love 80s speed metal, definitely check out Vulture. Yeah, man, with Dilling Death. Really good album. Up next, coming in at number 16 here on my list. Wow, a band I didn't expect to make my list, but I honestly really enjoyed this freaking album. I mean, this band really hasn't put out a bad album per se, but yeah, man, I'm talking about Cannibal Corpse. And I actually reviewed this last year here on the channel with Ryan Arnold, aka Demon Master, over from, you know, Damage Incorporated. Yeah, we reviewed this last year. I'm talking about Cannibal Corpse with Violence Unimagined. Dude, I think this album's fucking awesome. I mean, there's some great heavy tunes on here. I mean, my favorite track on here is probably, oh geez. Necrogenic Resurrection's probably my favorite track on here. I like Inhuman Harvest too. I mean, Ritual Annihilation, Follow the Blood. I mean, great album by Cannibal Corpse there. And Corpse Grinder, you know, still sounds killer, man. And let me adjust my shades here. All right, so that's number 15, or 16, excuse me there. Coming in at number 15. Another album that came out, I believe this came out in January, too, of 2021. I'm talking about A Sep's Too Mean to Die, coming in at 15. Came out on Nuclear Blast Records. This followed, this followed 2017's The Rise of Chaos. Dude, a really solid album. Yes, now they're a 3-guitar band and a 6-piece. I mean, Wolf Hoffman being the only original member, you know. Mark Tremoli still sounds freaking awesome on here. I mean, it's a good album. I mean, yes. I mean, you only got one original member left in a Sept, but still pretty good stuff by Wolf Hoffman and the gang. I enjoyed this. Okay, coming in at number 14. Now this has Max Cavalera and his son Igor Cavalera. This came out on Nuclear Blast Records also. Go Ahead and Die. I'm telling you what, this fucking album is brutal, man. Just old school fucking... It's like crossover punk mixed with like old school death metal, you know? It's got like that fuzzy and tomb type of sound, you know? Yeah, and just really brutal shit. I mean, truckload full of bodies. I mean, come on, Toxic man. Freedom. If that doesn't get you to fucking mosh and bang your heads, I don't know what won't, you know? I mean, you got other killer tracks on here like Punisher, you know, Prophet's Prey. You know, great fucking brutal album, man. And that's number 14. Okay, so now we're up to number 13. Well, we just talked about Accept. Well, here's the original Accept vocalist, Udio, with the album Game Over, which came out last October on SPV Steamhammer. Dude, it's a long album. It's a lot to digest because there's 16 tracks on here. But I'll tell you what, man, there's a lot of barn-burning heavy metal tracks on here, man. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, with Udio, you pretty much know what you're going to get. Straightforward fucking German heavy metal, like he always puts out, you know. But yeah, man, Udio, Game Over, Coming in at number 12. Now, this album was ranked a little higher, but man, there's so many other albums that I really enjoyed from last year. But this is a damn good one, too. I'm still waiting for the new Haunt CD to arrive here in the mail any day. But yeah, we got Haunt here with Beautiful Distraction. Great album. I mean, Trevor William Church, man, what a workaholic. Always putting out albums, and they're usually quite consistent. I mean, there's not a bad album yet. And I have not listened to the new Haunt album yet. No, I have not. I'm waiting until my copy arrives to listen to. I'm doing it the old school way, man. I mean, the internet spoils us sometimes. Sometimes, you know what? You just want to have that anticipation and wait for, the CD to actually be physically in your hands to listen to. At least that's how I feel. But I can't wait to hear it. Anyways, this album from last year, really good album, I think. A lot of good stuff on here, man. I mean, Sea of Dreams is probably one of my favorite tracks on here. Rates of Danger is great. In Our Dreams is really good. The title track's great. I mean, a lot of good stuff here. And man, I can already imagine another Haunt album's in the works. I guarantee it is. Okay, coming in at number 11 here. I'm surprised this one did not make my top 10, but it didn't. Just because I think a few other thrash albums from 2021 were a tad better. Persona Non Grata by Exodus came out last November. The Vicious album, man. Zetro sounds vicious. The gang vocals on here sound vicious. You pretty much know what you're going to get with Exodus. Just some brutal, riff-fury thrash metal. That's one way to put it. Tom Hunting, man, this guy is an excellent drummer. And prior to this album, he was battling cancer and got over it, thank goodness. Because his drum performance on here is absolutely sick. Gary Holt's still dishing out the rips. Now, a lot of people might have a complaint that it's a bit too long, but I wasn't bored with it. I think it's a really good Exodus album. I know it didn't make my top 10, but hey, man, it came close. Now we're into the top 10 here. Well, coming in at number 10, the only black metal album on my list. Just because I don't really listen to black metal as much as I used to, but we got Dark Throne with Eternal Hells. What a great album, in my opinion. This one, man, has a really old school 70s sound to it. Kind of reminds me of Old Sabbath in some of it, with that black metal edge, Some doomy stuff on here, Get a couple D-beat type of tracks. It's fucking Dark Throne, man. I know some people don't like the newer Dark Throne. I actually enjoy this. I've enjoyed their last couple albums, to be honest. Number 9, we got another album here. That's right. And this would be Hypocrisy's first album in quite a while. I'm talking about Hypocrisy Worship. Man, is this album good. This is a really good Hypocrisy album. It's strong. Peter Tagrin's vocals on here sound really brutal and pissed off. I mean, he's doing definitely more of the death metal style vocals as opposed to more of the screechy type of vocals that he does sometimes, But really good stuff, man. I really enjoyed this album, Dead World, you got Greedy Bastards, I mean, Chemical Whore. So yeah, very angry album. You can definitely tell it's talking about the events that have been going on over the last few years or so. Really good stuff. Wow, man, this one I'm surprised did not rank higher either. It was originally higher, too. I'm talking about Witherfall with Curse of Autumn. Really good progressive power metal here with a lot of neoclassical solos. This definitely reminds me of like old school Nevermore. You can definitely hear the Nevermore vibe in Witherfall. In fact, the vocalist, I believe, is singing for Sanctuary now, which they have a new album due here. Can't wait to hear it. But yeah, man, this right here is really good. Their third album. not a weak moment. This could definitely be ranked higher. It was ranked higher originally, and it kind of went down a little, you know. But yeah, that one comes in at number 7. Number 8, I'm sorry. Coming in at number 7, we got Kill Grid by Enforced. Came out on Century Media last year. Their second studio album. Man, this thing's fucking just kick ass. It's got this old school hardcore punk thrash metal type of riffs. You can hear some Slayer on here, some old Exodus, maybe some SOD too a little bit into riffing. Big riffs. I mean, it's nothing original or groundbreaking, but man, the sound is absolutely killer, man. Excellent stuff, man. Check out Enforced. Okay, now we're at number 6 here. Okay. Coming in at number 6. Oh man. Easily my favorite thrash metal album of 2021. Another band that, they were going for quite a while. The guitar player took over on lead vocalist. I'm talking about Evil with Hell Unleashed. Oh my goodness, is this thing freaking brutal and does not let up. Stomping riffs, it's fast the whole way through. Just incredible stuff by Evil here. Man, a band I've liked since probably 2007 when when the first album came out, way back then. Always wondered what happened to this band, and when I heard they were coming back for a new album, I'm like, fuck yes. Really good, solid thrash metal. Check it out. Now we're at the top 5, and I guess I was a little wrong because actually this one was my favorite thrash metal album of 2021. Because it's that damn good. And this band has been around for years. And man, I'll tell you what, it's another one of them veteran thrash metal bands that just keeps getting better and better with each album and with age. I'm talking about the newest Flotsam and Jetstream album. I guess I shouldn't say newest because it's been a year now. But we got Blood on the Water. Holy cripes, is this freaking album incredible. Man, I thought their last album was really good from 2019, but damn, is this one good. Blood on the Water by Flotsam and Jetstream. Eric, AK, man, still sounds great on vocals after all these freaking years. So yeah, definitely check that out. Now we got another band here, a very consistent band here, who oddly enough has a new album coming out already. Holy crap, hard to believe. But yeah, man, we got Rage with Resurrection Day. Came out last September. And dude, they already got another studio album coming out. And it's going to be like their 27th studio album. So yeah, this is like their 26th. Very consistent band, a ton of freaking albums. There's still albums in their discography I need to hear yet. But man, really, really solid. I don't know what to call this. Do you call it power metal? Do you call it speed metal? Do you call it thrash metal? Because you kind of get a combination of all three of those sounds in their sound, Yeah, Rage definitely has a sound all their own. You can get some progressive metal elements too, and some tracks and on some albums, a little bit of symphonic stuff. So you kind of get a little bit of everything when it comes to Rage. But man, what a solid album. Everything I've heard from this band so far has been freaking excellent, man. I got to hear the rest of their freaking discography. Coming in at number 3. Okay, so we got a band here that's fairly new. This is their debut album. It came out last year. So yeah, we got a band here called Midnight Spell with their album Sky Destroyer. If you like traditional heavy metal, or this new wave of traditional metal that's been going on, you'll love this. Excellent stuff. Definitely a throwback to the new wave of British heavy metal, Get a little bit of speed metal here and there. A little bit of Merciful Fate, a little bit of Angel Witch, a little bit of old school early Def Leppard. Just good stuff. Some Iron Maiden, You know the drill. If you like the new wave of British heavy metal, check out Midnight Spell. And by the way, the drummer of Thrash or Die is the drummer on here. That's right. So check it out. Coming in at number 2, holy crap, now this is where it gets freaking... Boy, these 2 albums to me can be tired, because the one album I really thought was going to be number 1. Well, man, it came in at number 2. But man, is this a freaking excellent comeback album. I'm talking about Halloween's self-titled album. The return of Michael Kiske on vocals. The return of Kai Hansen on guitars. Man, so you get a 3 vocal assault. Probably more Andy Darris and Michael Kiske on here. You know, Kai Hansen's on here a little bit. But man, Skyfall, when that track was released last year, I'm like, holy shit, this is good. It's like Keepers of the Seventh Keys Part 3. Fuck it, dude. This is the proper Keeper of the Seventh Keys Part 3 release. Fuck that other version that came out way back in 2005. You know, not that it's a bad album, but man, this feels more at home with the Keepers of the Seven Keys, you know, that sound, you know what I mean? So yeah, this could easily be Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 3 to me. Oh my god, this is such an excellent album. Man, I don't know how they're going to top this album, to be honest. But I don't know, we'll find out in the future, I guess. If there is another Halloween album with this lineup, we'll find out. But it's great to have, you know, Michael Kiske back in the band. Coming in at number 1, I think the album that surprised me the most in 2021. And I was really anticipating this, you know, really anticipating this after, you know, hearing it was Hellfire Thunderbolt. And we did a reaction video on here last year. I believe it was for Hellfire Thunderbolt. I believe that's the track we reacted to last year here on the channel. And I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. Very Painkiller like. Well, I'm talking about KK's Priest, Sermons of the Sinner. Man, I really, really enjoyed this album. I still listen to it quite frequently. Really good stuff. Sounds like classic Priest. I know a lot of people don't like Ripper Owens. Whatever. I enjoy this. And I don't think a lot of people really had high expectations for this. But I think a lot of people were blown away by it. And I'm looking forward to the next album they deliver, you know. Yes, I do wish KK would go back to Judas Priest. I do, just like everybody else. But man, I'm enjoying this. You know. And that's my list for 2021. My top 20 favorite metal albums. That was a lot to go through. That was not an easy list to make. Believe me when I tell you that. And a lot of things definitely changed in that list. Anyway, so that's it. Speaking of which, coming up next, we do got a reaction video coming up. And tonight, me and Ryan Arnold go live. And we're going to review Dream Theater's Images and Words for its 20th anniversary. So stay freaking tuned. Keep it metal. I'm out.